I think this book could have one of the biggest cliffhangers ever. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Alice. We talk about books a lot on this channel, sometimes do some vlog and lifestyle content, so if you're looking for someone to stick on in the background while you make yourself a meal, clean your room, or do that thing you've been putting on for the longest time, then I'm your gal. So consider hitting that subscribe button. Come on in, join the family. It is free and you can unsubscribe at any time. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for continued support. Oh guys, sorry, this one's been a long time coming. I know I'm late this week. Yes, as you can see, it kind of looks similar to the last background, but I am currently in Bali. It is raining outside, so hopefully you can't hear it too much, but you know, maybe it'll be calming for you or nice, I don't know. Yes, we got delayed because, as I'm sure many of you probably know, when you go to Bali, there's a pretty high chance that you're gonna get something called Bali Belly. We're gonna talk about this at a later date. Yeah, basically got a super bad stomach infection. So filming a video and editing and doing all that shebang was not really possible. We'll definitely talk about it more in the future. But anyway, shan't bore you anymore. What are we here for today? We are here for the most stomach-dropping book ever. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, that's right, guys. It's time to talk about Divine Rivals. Bah, bah, bah. I'm going to make a pretty big statement with this one, folks. I'm going to make a pretty big statement. I think this book could have one of the biggest cliffhangers ever. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, obviously disclaimer right now. I might talk about more things in detail, I might not. So if you haven't read this book and you are planning on it and you don't want any chance of spoilers, click off this video for now, go watch one of my other ones, you know, stick her on in the background, do what you got to do, come back to it once you've read this one. Obviously check trigger warnings, all that jazz. I've literally been so excited to talk about this book, so let's get into it. All right, seat belts on, buckled in, fasten them. You got them? Is that it? Locked in? Right, let's go. So I gave this book an 8 out of 10. I know, that's pretty high. I feel like I've been quite harsh this year, so this is very good. So this is a YA romantasy enemies to lovers, I believe. I feel like it pretty much did what it said on the tin, do you know what I mean? I was pretty happy with it. I love world building. And whilst, you know, no spoilers ahead, one of my comments may have been that I wanted a bit more, the premise behind it all I very much enjoy. That was pretty good. I feel like when I first read this, I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, I probably would say it's on the 7.5 to 8 spectrum, but we'll give it an 8 because, you know, I enjoyed it. That means that this book gets a 4 star. Definitely feel like I haven't given a 4 star in a minute, but also maybe I could be wrong. So let me know in the comments down below. Be like, Alice, you're chatting out your ass. Okay, you're chatting out your ass. In terms of spice, I gave it a 0.5. It wasn't spicy. There was a little spice scene in it, but it was very tasteful. It was very modest for a spice scene, and I felt like it went with the vibe, you know. I feel like it would have been a bit like random if all of a sudden it was like this super like intense sauce came out of nowhere kind of thing. So not bad. If asked would I recommend this book, I said very politely, I literally said here, yes, I think I would. You know, there you go, that's your recommendation. All right, recommendation for you. So I have about 500 minutes. No, I'm joking. I have quite a few options of books to read on my Kindle at the moment because it was a bit of a sale, you know this. I also got this in the sale, and I asked Brian to choose one because I couldn't choose. There were so many different ones, and he picked this one. I didn't show him any of the covers. I literally just gave him a mini synopsis of each one, and he was like, that's the one. Thanks, Brian dog. Let's get into the main event. Let's get onto the review. Bring in the trusty steed. Not too long today. I feel like I did waffle a little bit, so bear with. Let me know also, while I'm just side note, let me know in the comments down below if you have any recommendations to read. Also, if you have any videos you want to see. And also, thirdly, if you want to see how I organise my books and stuff like that. I don't know if did I make a video on this? But you know how I keep track of everything. If you want a little behind the scenes, then let me know. Alright, so without further ado, let's actually move on. I said, this book was great. I really enjoyed it. I really did love both the characters, which, you know, is pretty rare. Normally one of them is a little bit more annoying or whatever, so I felt like they both held their own, which was pretty good. I did love the enemies to lovers vibe, and also it was pretty great because he fell first, and I feel like that was pretty legendary. I enjoyed the dynamic this created. The ending was also so gripping, like genuinely. I'll insert a clip now. I literally went straight on to Amazon, was like, Ruthless Vows, Ruthless Vows, what does it say? It was like £5, so fingers crossed it's on the sale, please. Come on, fingers and toes crossed for the April sale, guys. It's spring. Everyone loves spring, right? Let's do it. I literally was like itching, like straight away I was like, oh my god, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. Like, I genuinely think this was one of the biggest cliffhangers I've read. Maybe not if ever, it's definitely one of the biggest ones I've read in a long, long time. Okay. A long time. What I also loved about this book is there was a lot of heartache and a lot of stomach drops, and they were just constant, they were just coming at you like pow, pow, pow. And I love that, and I feel like that's one of the things that I do actually criticise a lot of romantic books, romanticy. Yes, but also romance books on in general. I feel like that up and down is really what keeps you gripped in the story. So I feel like this book did that really, really well. Also, I'm not sure if we're a bit high up. How do you feel about this? I don't know. Try to create dynamic. Let me know, do you like this? Should I do it different? Should I be closer? So let me know. I'm learning on the job, all right? Definitely was a bit of a roller coaster ride. I also loved the world building with the mythology. That was great. On to the negatives. There were 2 reasons I marked this down, which is why I gave it an 8, because 2 points for 2 things, right? The first was that I do think the romance was a little fast. It was a little rushed. The whole book really was a little rushed, I'll be honest. And the fact that I know it's a duology and it's not even longer, I feel like it's such a good concept. It definitely could have been done over a longer time. I did feel like that was quite a big thing. It did sometimes break away from the story. If the pacing is a little bit off, it does, I've said this before, but it's just like it does take you out of the sort of escapism element from it a little bit, and you're a bit like, oh, or sometimes you want the characters to work for it a little bit more. And I don't know, I do feel like it was a little bit speedy Gonzalez, alright? That was probably like, I would say that was probably like the main criticism, if I had to give it a big one. And I feel like it was just 0 to 100 of the justification of like, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, so we're gonna do it. And I feel like that worked, because that justification did mean that in the context it didn't not make sense, but it was just a little bit fast. It was just a bit fast, alright? That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. But as I said before, really all we just needed was a few more pages here and there, a bit more building in the relationship. Would have been a much, much better pace. So, you know, that's always my thing. Just add a few more pages, alright? Just add a few more. So the second mark that was lost was to do with world building. So as you know, I love a good bit of world building. I definitely think it needed more. Like I needed some more descriptions of like the myths with the gods, and just a little bit more backstory, a bit more lore, and I feel like I needed to be invested. A few more descriptions here and there to really like get these places in my mind. I just feel like that was probably the other point, was that the world building was great and I liked what she did here. But again, because it's only in that duology setting, I feel like it's quite rushed. I mean, if you take something, for example, like let's say Akatar, right? You've obviously got the 5 books, so by the time you're sort of on like book 2, book 3, you're really, as I said, the first book's always worse, but you're really like into the world. You know what the different courts look like, and you've got all this, and I know obviously it's a longer series, so it's got more time to do that. I think even with things like Divergent, when I read Divergent, I mean, it's been a long time, so let me know if you should go back. But I remember reading Divergent as a kid, and that's only a trilogy, that's only 1 more book, and I knew like every single faction, I knew what they looked like, what type of people went into the faction, and I just feel like this needed a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? And especially with the epilogue, so this is definitely a big spoiler, so please look away. But with the, is it Dacre? Is that how you say the Dacre? Is that how you say the name? Like, I needed like, what was his vibe? What's like, I kind of get a bit of it, but like, how's he depicted? Because I feel like the epilogue, I really needed to feel the fear of like, what's gonna happen next? Oh my god, this is crazy. This is like the biggest cliffhanger or whatever. But I felt like I lost a bit of emotion with it, because I was a bit like, okay, we needed to hear about him for the whole book to be like so scared to finally meet this character. So like, when the character comes and it's with one of our favorite main characters, it's like, and there's like so much shock. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe it needed a bit more. I just don't think it gave like the full stress, anxiety to the reader. And I know that sounds silly, like obviously you don't want to give your reader stress and anxiety, but I feel like it didn't create enough emotion for that, if that makes sense. All in all, really, it was just a little bit of a disconnection. There was a great, like, nice little plot twist, which unfortunately I did guess, because I was like, oh, I feel like this is leading this way. But the actual plot twist in the plot twist, I didn't guess. So that was fun in terms of where a certain character had been. Didn't know that. Knew the character was coming back. I feel like that was pretty cool. And there was also a few, like, moments in here that I just didn't see coming as well. So she did really well at creating sort of suspense. So it's just a shame that we didn't have like a little bit more with some of the characters, with the gods and the myths, etc. You know, honestly, it's like I said, just a few more pages here and there and we would have been away. All in all, I really did think this was a fabulous book. I thought it had great content, it had great romance, great heartache, you know, a tasteful love story, and the start of some really great world building as well. I was so shocked when the book came to the end. Like, it made me instantly want to read the second one, which is so great from an author to really get you wanting to read the next one. So I feel like, you know, Miss Rebecca Ross smashed it. Very excited, very clever move from Reb over here, and I'm really glad that this was my most recent read. Well, thanks for tuning in today, folks. Okay, sorry it was so long, and I hope you enjoyed this one. We need to get some more videos going soon. I do feel like I'm missing a little bit of YouTube at the moment. Going to the one upload a week has been great for, well, usually in terms of preparation, except for when you get Bali Belly. But it does feel like sad that I'm not talking to you guys as much, but we're bringing it back. Okay, we're bringing it back. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Have you subscribed? Thank you very much, and as always, until the next one, I'll see you then. Bye. That was hard, but we did it.